want to see.
Yes.
She's here. Sorry about that.
How are you guys doing?
Good. How are you?
Good, thanks.
Good.
Are we ready to get started?
Thanks for coming
Should we get
on.
started? Yes. Well, welcome
T, go for
everyone to this live Q&A with Will, Clarke and Dorothy and Andy, aka Shermanology. Mate, so much talent on this IGTV right now. So excited to have you all here and to talk about the new record. I really feel like this collaboration is such a natural progression for you all. Will with tracks like Hallelujah and The Hymn, and Dorothy, your big vocals and the Shermanology sound. I think that culminates so nicely together with Will's. How did the link up for this track come about?
I'm a stalker, so I just.
Did you slide into my DMs?
I did. I just.
Oh, thank you.
It was a smooth slide.
This was years ago, though.
Yeah, years ago.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So who's into whose? How did it happen?
I was really digging Will's stuff, and I was like, I really want to collab with him. And that was like, I think, how long ago? 2 years ago?
Definitely 2019, early 2019.
Yeah.
And yeah, he was like, okay, let's give it a try. And we started with another track first, and then Sunshine came along. And that's how it went. That's the short version.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say, is this the only track you've made together? Because I'm sure I could have sworn you guys got in the studio before, but this is the first official release with you together.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, this is the first one, but we actually wrote another one.
Yeah.
That it will be coming out. We don't know when, but
okay.
Yeah, like we wrote that one first, and it didn't take that long to write. The first one, and then there was like quite a lot of time. I think I was touring, and Dorothy and Andy kind of got really famous with Shermanology and their like new sound, and it kind of they just got super busy doing their shit. And then I think we didn't forget about the record, but we were just like,
yeah. And you know what the thing was, the record has a real special meaning for me because before we even had a plan, like how we were gonna do like the new sound, we got in touch with Will, and Will was one of the first people who said, guys, let's do a record. And I think that for us was like an eye-opener, and it has a real special feeling to it personally as well.
Yeah, we'll come on to the actual meaning of the track in a little bit. What I'm keen to know first is, how did the creative process work? Did you write the lyrics and the vocals first, Dorothy? Did Will kind of write the instrumental? Like, who did what, and how did it come together?
The instrumental was there, and then we wrote the track on top of it.
Okay.
So
who did the instrumental, Will or Andy?
It was Will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was Will, his amazing, inspiring instrumental that kind of spoke to us in that way. So.
Yeah, so my kind of like vibe between the instrumental was there's a track called Breach, which I absolutely love and have loved for years. And I can't remember the name of it because I know the artwork of it, but I can never remember the name of it. But there was part of that record that just always gave me this like unreal feeling of like, I don't know, it made me feel super happy every time I heard it. But it wasn't like a cheesy, housey record. It was like just something really meaningful. And it was still quite dark, and I would still be able to play it. But it didn't have vocals.
Yeah.
And I heard Breach, aka Ben Westbeach, sing, like he's a really good singer.
Yeah, he
and
is.
He had like real like jazzy, soulful vocals in it. I was like, I'd love to write a record similar to this.
Yeah.
But obviously I wanted something like a bit more emotion chord wise, and then I wanted like amazing like big vocals, and there's only one person around that can do that.
Yeah.
And that's Dorothy. And I remember I remember sending the record initially to Andy and was like, what's your thoughts on this? And he was like, yeah, let's do it. And we all jumped on a call and like initially wrote. I was like, I'm not good at writing lyrics at all. And I was like, this is my kind of vibe, but you guys go away. And then Dorothy and Andy went away and wrote something. And then we kind of came back on a call and like changed it a little bit.
Yeah.
And then I think you guys sent me the actual lyrics and I put what you guys thought would be the chorus as the verse. And then like I switched it around and then it kind of just came together.
Yeah, in that way. Well, your stuff is so emotive anyway. That's what I love about your stuff. It almost feels quite industrial, but it's got such an emotional depth to it. As soon as I heard the record, I instantly fell in love with it. I'm not just saying that. It really does make you feel. It's very evocative, this track. And every time I listen to it and the lyrics, I hear something new. Every time I listen to the track and I pick up on something else. Do you want to talk to me about the lyrics and the meaning behind the track and what it's about?
Oh, yeah, sure. When we wrote that song, it was like, I think the Corona period just started.
Yeah.
And I think everybody was a little bit, not confused, but literally searching something to grab hold of. And like even for us, it was a period where we didn't know which direction we were going to go in, and we are kind of religious people, we're not like church going people, but we are religious people, and we just wanted to create something that would give people hope, or to give people hope, basically.
Yeah, that's exactly what I heard from the record. I just felt that it's really interesting you tell me that you wrote in lockdown, because that was a time where I think every single person on this planet suddenly felt confused and wondered what their purpose was. You know, it really made people stop and think. And listening to that track, that's exactly what I got from it, from the lyrics. And it does feel very hopeful. That's exactly what I've written on my notes: purpose, faith, and hope. So that's exactly what I got out of it. So job well done. You know,
we did it.
That's exactly what I got from it. Smashed it.
But I think it was fun as well, because the challenge that Dorothy and I have between each other is always like, okay, let's do something different, you know?
Yeah.
And with this record, we were like, it's been a really long time that Dorothy did these diva kind of vocals.
Long time, yeah.
We said, let's do it. Let's do something a bit more singy this time.
Yeah.
I think that's the thing that I really liked about it as well, because obviously, like, I'm on my like gospel tip at this moment in time.
Yeah.
And like, I knew going into this, because Andy and I send each other music quite a lot of what like we're both working on, and I know that this isn't kind of the tip that these guys are on, just with all the stuff that they're kind of releasing and like on their own label and on like Eats Everything's label and doing like all these other like records that are like real proper house music, if you know what I mean, real funky house music.
Yeah,
like,
you've kind of mixed everything, like tribal, like Afro house. We've had a little bit of everything from you so far. So yeah, it's nice to see your voice really shine, Dorothy, and really see what you can do. Because we see it on the lives all the time. We see you singing live all the time, and it's nice to hear that full capacity on a record. And it's a banger, isn't it? Everyone in the comments is going, banger, banger, this is a banger. So. They're not wrong. They're not wrong, are they?
Andy, sorry to butt in,
there you go.
Charlie, like I'm kind of turning into an interviewer now. Andy, how do you guys, like you and Dorothy, when you like, I know obviously with COVID, like the gigs have been sparse in Amsterdam, but when you came over to the UK and stuff, but how does it work in your sets, this record? Because it's so different to it's different to what I play. So like me fitting it into my sets, it's still it's not hard, but it's different.
Yeah, the thing is, like with my set, we always play different kinds of house in our sets. And like if I do a 2-hour set, I wanna take them on a journey, and there's a certain point in the set where I want to grab the crowd more on an emotional kind of side. You know, you have different kinds of emotion between the crowd and the DJ. And I think this is the moment when we really like take the moment and just go back to just a basic song where Dorothy does her thing. You know, we don't have a lot of breakdown moments in our set at the moment. So yeah, this is that part in the set.
Yeah, I think that's the only part. Well,
yeah, the only part that we break it down and go like, okay, Sarah.
Yeah.
That's dope. That's dope. Yeah, because for me, it's like, it's weird. I don't know about you guys, but it's weird actually playing. It's pretty much a full song.
That's for me too. That's like it's but you know the thing is, because the foundation you put in the production like underneath is so solid that it doesn't, in a club you still have that Will Clarke aggressiveness in the low, you know, in the low frequencies, and that's really essential in this song. Like play it on big speakers, guys. Don't forget, play it on big speakers. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I agree.
How have you been doing it, Will? Have you been finishing with it?
Finishing with it, and I play it a lot after Hallelujah. It like sometimes when I mix in key, when I can be bothered, like it's actually in a weird key. It's in a weird key. So like it's like sometimes, because it starts with music, it doesn't just start with like a kick drum. It starts with music.
Yeah.
So it has to be like, I've done so many bad mixes into it. It's like,
I love how real and honest you are.
We're about to put a live video out of me playing somewhere, and when I heard it back, I was like, oh my God, I need to stop doing that because it just sounds awful. But for me, it's like definitely, I'm trying to build it into my set so it's a moment in the set. And I think when people get to know the record more, it was always a moment, but it's now the record's out and people can hear it and like and know the lyrics and learn the lyrics.
It's such a different.
Yeah, because you want to be able to sing along to it. Exactly that. There's nothing worse than hearing a banger for the first time going, I need to learn. I can't stand there and just not sing along to it. So yeah, exactly that.
Yeah, like we're the only ones singing along to it because we wrote it. It's like.
But I think when you're playing a song that nobody knows and it does well in the sets, then you know, like, okay, even without people knowing it, you know, and that's the best way to test it.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally.
So you guys, I think it's fair to say you've both grown musically and sonically, particularly over the past 2 years, and really kind of come into your own sound, both of you, more than ever. You've both been around for a while. How did you manage to do that at probably the worst point in musical history with the pandemic last year? Like, how did you keep up the momentum? Because you've managed to both break through at one of the hardest points. What were you doing in the pandemic? We'll start with Will. You were both doing loads and really utilising that time, weren't you? How did you kind of combat it?
For me, it was kind of just an evolution of my sound. Myself and my manager, we'd been planning to start a record label from like the day one of me working with him, which was early 2019, I believe. Yeah. So we launched a record label January 2020. And that had all the new sounds. I'd written all the music that was coming out in 2020. So my sound was had evolved, but no one had heard it.
Yeah.
And it was just like 2020 was the start of, okay, this is what Will Clarke's doing now. And kind of we're here now.
Yeah. So the music was already written. It's not as if lockdown gave you more time to write, or you wrote more, or you wrote more deeply.
There's a couple of records that were written in lockdown that got released, but most of it was written beforehand.
You write so quickly as well. Every time I speak to you, finish a new track. You're so ridiculous.
Yeah, but whether
they're ridiculous, man.
But yeah, what about you guys?
Yeah.
For us, it was more like even before the pandemic, we just reset everything. Like, let's just have fun with music again without even knowing where we would go. And we started doing dance hall and Caribbean stuff and just whatever. And we did that for like 2 years. And then suddenly we said, you know what, I think it's time to go and make the sound that we like, because we saw that the sound was shifting a lot towards the UK. And for me, that was a sound that I always made and that where my heart was. So I told Dorothy, yo, let's think about a concept where we do whatever we like. So we just took everything that we like, from gospel to like dance hall and all that kind of stuff. And we just blended with the UK, because like I lived in the UK for a couple of years as a singer for Artful Dodger. So the bass lines is like what we always wanted to do. So we just took...
Wait, hold on a minute.
I didn't know this.
So
No?
I didn't know this.
You used to be a vocalist for the Artful Dodger?
Yeah, I did that for like 3 years and toured with them in the UK.
Why did I not know this?
No, kept that quiet.
So I was a vocalist at first, and then I did the MC part, and then I said to Dorothy, yo, let's start MCing together. We started MCing, and then it was still in my back of my mind. I was like, listen, Artful Dodger, we're doing bass lines with vocals. And I'm like, Dorothy, listen, we have to go back to where everything started.
That's mad. So much bloody talent, just when you think there's no more. Just that one comes out of the woodwork.
Mate, Artful Dodger was my childhood.
Oh,
Yeah.
Like,
And mine. It's all about the Stragglers that I had on repeat.
Me too. Like, one thing was, I was so obsessed with their music. So when they asked me, I was like, this is not this, because I was singing Motown in hotels in Tenerife with my dad, and they were in the crowd. And Craig David left a couple of months before, and they said, yo, you want to move to the UK? I was like, what are you talking about? So that's the UK.
Love it.
I love that.
Makes so much sense now with your sound. I know it's a culmination of lots of different genres, but even hearing that you love bassline and the UK sound, that makes so much more sense now.
Yeah, that's the whole foundation.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's talk about the record labels very quickly, because you both have imprints that have both launched in the last 2 years. Shermanology, tell me about your imprint, because you self-release a lot of your tracks on there. What's the idea behind it? What's the ethos for people that don't know about it, haven't heard about it yet? Tell us about it.
It's a label called Dope. Me and Dorothy always had problems that the tracks that we liked most, we couldn't get signed. And we were like, when the time is right, let's start the imprint where we just release whatever we like. And that's why when we release, we do like De Novo was the full popular song in our language. And we're just having fun with whatever we feel like releasing. And I think that's the concept. And we're starting to invite more artists on the label too, where we just want to see a different side from the artist, you know? Like, give me the track that nobody wanted. And I want to be that foundation for the artist, because I think that's where I got stuck a lot of times. We got stuck. Yeah, I love, like you said, De Novo's in another language, but it did so well here, which is a true testament to the fact that you don't have to understand any of the lyrics to understand a track and a feeling behind it. It did so well here in the UK, and I still don't know what it says.
What does it say?
It means starting over. De Novo in our language means starting over.
Yeah.
So it is all about that big reset button that we hit.
Yeah, exactly.
So
Interesting.
And again, this is another gospel. It's in our language, but it is a gospel song.
I didn't even know it was like, I thought it was just like a vibe. I didn't know it was even another language.
Yeah, it's in our language, like the language of yourself.
Yeah.
Every day's a school day.
Every day is a school day, exactly. Can't take it anywhere, can you?
What did you think, Will? Did you think he was making up some stuff?
Like
he was doing gibberish?
Yeah.
Definitely possible, because he did it. But this song, and also Bombini is also the same language.
Yeah.
Yeah. Amazing.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Well, I love that you guys just took the initiative. You're like, well, if other people aren't going to put our records out, we're going to do it. Will, talk to us about your label. You haven't even told us what it's called. What's the idea behind it? There's a nice concept behind the name of it and kind of what it means. Do you want to tell us about it?
It's called All We Have Is Now, which is about kind of living in it's something that like kind of like something my mum's always told me to do, is like live in the moment and enjoy now rather than worry about the future, which is something I still always struggle with, is like actually living in the now. It's always about like what's next. But that was kind of the name of the concept of the label. And for me, it was pretty much exactly the same as Dorothy and Andy. Is like there was a lot of records that wouldn't fit with other people's sounds, and wouldn't fit with other labels. And also, like, no disrespect, like record labels nowadays, especially like DJ record labels that are owned by an artist, a lot of them literally they're releasing records to boost their career. And for me, it's like you'll release a record and then 2 weeks later, if the record didn't do well, it gets forgotten about. And as artists, we spend so much time working on music for it to then just be forgotten about in 2 weeks. So it took my manager Ryan and myself like a year to kind of build a team. And now I have like a dope team at the Good Company who kind of run the label with me. And I've just signed my first artist, which is a really good friend of mine called Debesk, which that's his first record's coming out in February next year. But for me, it's like, I don't want to sign loads of people. I want to sign 2-3 artists maximum.
Yeah. And
bring them on tour with me and kind of invest into their careers and kind of really help grow them. And whether it doesn't necessarily have to be, well, at this moment in time, it's going to be house and techno, of course, because that's what I do. And I'm the only person that can promote that. But eventually I want to be able to sign any genre and be able to kind of help those artists in whatever kind of direction they want to go.
Yeah.
I want to make it into a label that's an actual record label, not something just to boost my career, really.
Yeah. Hey, I love that. And that's why we love you, Will Clarke. That's why he's a don in the scene. Are there any plans for you guys to perform together yet? If there isn't an epic back-to-back plan, some agents need to get on that ASAP, because that'd be amazing.
I agree.
Yeah?
I agree.
Any yet?
It would be an interesting sound.
Not yet. What we have, the thing is, it's really difficult to plan right now with the situation in Holland and everything. So, but soon.
Yeah. Well, I have no doubts as soon as this track has started doing the rounds, it's going to be happening in 2022. Are you guys coming to the UK? I know you've been playing some shows here recently. Are you coming back?
We're coming back in about 2 weeks.
Yeah, in Birmingham.
Birmingham, yeah.
Lab 11.
Yeah.
What day?
Lab 11.
The 18th.
Birmingham.
The 18th
of December.
Amazing.
I'm coming.
Yay!
Yeah. I might come as well. Let's have a party.
It's on. It's so on.
I'm coming.
Right, the rest of the UK. Lab 11 on the 18th. Well, that concludes all the questions. Is there anything else that you guys want to add? Any other little bits of promo you want to do? Any more gigs coming up that you want to like boost or anything?
For me, it's just everybody go follow Shermanology. They're the
best.
And
if you've been sleeping on them already,
go do it.
Yeah, go do it.
It's like a real honor to be doing this track with Will as well, you know. So
likewise.
I say on to the next after this one, and one after the next again.
Yeah.
Literally.
Well,
I love it.
Any of the other tracks, anything like this one, they're going to be a sensation as well.
We'll send you the next one, Charlie. We'll send you the next one.
Yes, you will.
Yeah,
definitely. Well, the track Searching is absolutely sensational. Everyone go and play it and listen to it. It's out now, and I cannot wait to watch it fly. You guys have an amazing rest of your day.
Thank you
guys.
Take care. Love the track.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.